Kenya today is a dynamic mix of generations, from the experienced boomers to the ambitious millennials and daring Gen Z. The difference in these generations is not just about age, it's about culture, technology, and emotional connection, with the younger generation being the most misunderstood. On International Youth Day this year, we asked Nyawanga Owuor, who spends a lot of time interacting with young people, one of the big questions today. What do the youth want?
The youth want it all. And I think wanting it all comes in so many different ways. One thing I hear very often that's thrown around is the youth just want it easier. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think we need to demystify this culture of wanting it easier. I'd rather call it wanting it practical, wanting it realistic more than wanting it easier. As we stand here today, over 20% of Kenyans are between 15 and 24 years old, so my age gap. As it is, the UN foresees that by 2050 we're going to have a population of 100 million people, and as it is, 67% of Kenyans are unemployed. So these are real statistics, meaning that myself at 21 years and people in their 40s, people in their 50s, we're still competing for the same employment. So wanting it easier means wanting the platform to create opportunities for ourselves, whether that's being given the adequate training, whether that's being given access to the markets, access to opportunities, fair competitive prices that don't shut young people out of opportunities.
For the youth, a key want for their life is to be given the space to find themselves.
When I started in LightArt, I was for a while the youngest employee. And that was such a teaching experience because we are a community and an organization full of young people, but it was young people in slightly different walks of life. So we'd have people who had just had maybe their first kids, people who had just finished uni, I had just finished high school. So to learn that these people are so resilient, so different, and so creative in the sense that they can go about making a very sustainable life in very, very new ways. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Everything was new. Everything about young people is very interesting because the previous generation, there was a template given to you. Go to school, go to high school, go to uni, get this degree, be employed, save, retire. Seeing this generation and the generation maybe just in between, the way they have the ability to form their own paths. They have the ability to make rooms that have never been made before, to make rules that have never been made before. I think that's been the most impressive thing.
Despite the differences, Nyawanga notes that there are still things the youth can pick from the older generation.
We are in a very competitive, capitalistic society where it's so easy, even when you're doing the right thing, to feel like you're doing the wrong thing. And it's very easy to be ticked off the edge by criticism. And sometimes the criticism is genuine, constructive criticism. Sometimes it's not packaged in the right way. I know we're a generation where how we package our words is very important to us. Some people don't have that skill, and that doesn't always mean they're out to get you. It's a culture that you have to understand. So I think we need to do better at I believe we do things in a much better way than the generation before us did in terms of how we communicate. But we also have to understand that there's a very big cross-cultural divide between generations.
To allow younger people to thrive, society has a key role to play.
Society has a pivotal role of shaping mindsets, of curating culture, of determining what is acceptable and what is not, what is an achievement and what is not. So one thing I think would be very, very important in how society shapes mindsets is shifting how we celebrate progress. I think we have developed a culture that celebrates and encourages academic and corporate achievements. Oh, you got a promotion, you went from CFO to CEO. We celebrate corporate achievements, but we don't celebrate innovation. We don't celebrate risk. So just shifting the perspective of what we determine is a good thing to do. You don't find there's as much encouragement for a young person who is innovating a new business or a new design or a new creation. So celebrating risk and encouraging people that here is the leverage. If what you want to do doesn't work out, there's a backup plan. There's people who will support you. Create support for young people who want to take the risks and make something of themselves, of course, within a reasonable area.